Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon. Well, guys, if you saw my top 10 holiday movies of all time, I left the number one spot open, and I felt like this movie really deserved its own review because it is not only my favorite Christmas movie of all time, not my favorite action movie of all time, but one of my favorite films of all time, and that movie is Die Hard. Die Hard came out in 1988, and I of course wasn't alive around then, but my dad was, and he saw it, and he told me that he saw it with his dad, and he just remembered being fixated into this action world, and he just loved this movie as a kid, and he just grew up with it all of his life, and he really wanted me to watch this movie. What can I say? I absolutely love this movie. There's that could be like the shortest review I've ever done in my life. If I just say I love this movie, there you go. Bye bye. But in serious note, this is my favorite Christmas movie actually of all time. I know it sounds really weird, like really, Die Hard, Tyson, that's your favorite Christmas movie of all time? Yeah, it is. I love watching it. It does take place during Christmas. It does revolve around Christmas, so yeah, it's my favorite Christmas movie of all time. If you don't know, for some messed up reason, Die Hard follows the story of a cop named John McClane. He's a New York detective cop. He's foul-mouthed. He really cusses a lot. He just doesn't really care. He jokes when he should be worried for his life. I gotta just open up. John McClane is one of the coolest movie characters ever, and Bruce Willis just plays him brilliantly. And he just really, like, not only does he do good with like his action scenes, he does good like as emotion. Like, you remember the scene where he had to step on the glass? I mean, that really must have hurt. I mean, that's the thing I loved about John McClane. He was always a vulnerable hero. He was never this, hero like Rambo, how he just like shot everybody in the room and just left. Like John McClane was a very vulnerable person, and that was really the first time we've ever seen that in not only an action movie but a movie itself. I just want to take a second to talk about the bad guy in this movie, Hans Gruber. Alan Rickman, this was his first ever role as an actor. Believe it or not a lot of people know that, but it is his first ever role, and he just blew it out of the water. I mean, he is probably the best villain in Die Hard franchise. I just loved his back and forth dialogue between him and John McClane. It was just so snappy, and you just loved it. And a lot of people don't know this, but they only have really one or two scenes like when they're in the same room talking to each other. And it's just crazy how they did it so well, like just over walkie-talkie, and they just had that great camaraderie back and forth. And it's not like the villain hero, like, oh, I'm going to beat you up because you're a villain. Oh, I'm going to beat you up because you're a hero. Okay, no, they actually had reasons to hate each other. If you don't know what the story of Die Hard is about, it is about a New York cop named John McClane who goes to LA to visit his separated wife, who their marriage is on the rocks. It's not very good. His kids live there also. It's Christmas time. He needs to visit his family. And then all of a sudden, he goes to her workplace where she's at, and terrorists take over the building to get through the vault of the building, and John McClane has to stop them. You see the cops side of view. You see the news people, the anchors, the douchebag anchorman's type of deal. You see John McClane's type of deal. You see everybody has a purpose for this movie, and it's just an amazing film. And it's really sad when I watch A Good Day to Die Hard, and all that magic from the first one is completely lost. It is utterly lost in every single way, and it's really sad to see that, especially when a great movie like Die Hard has been around for so long and has been respected as one of the best films of all time. So guys, this is my favorite Christmas movie of all time. It's my favorite action movie of all time, like I said, and that's why Die Hard gets an A+. Guys, I know some people were expecting something else for my favorite Christmas movie, holiday movie of all time, but it's Die Hard. It's my personal opinion, and I adore this movie. And if you haven't seen Die Hard, who hasn't seen Die Hard? Except for women. But If you're a woman and you love Die Hard, 2 thumbs up for you. Guys, what did you think about my top 10 holiday movies of all time? If you haven't checked that out, check that out. If you haven't checked out my Hobbit Battle of Five Armies review, it gets interesting and it's really good. It's a good time. It's a good time. Go check that out. So guys, what do you think about Die Hard? What do you think about my Christmas list? What are you doing for Christmas this year? That's the question of the day. Whatever you think, let me know in the comments. Find me on Facebook, like this video, subscribe, and yeah, peace out.